So I've been made to make like a new player guide for some time now. Been thinking about it, and here we are finally. As we can see here, here's my save file, which I played on for like since forever, since like when the game came out. Probably back in was it 2022, I think. And here, let's start a new one. Now, first thing it's going to show you, as you see, you got your settings, and when you're new, I'd recommend, of course, you want to keep your tutorials on, keep that enabled. And now that comes into these settings, which is more, I suppose, depending on your play style and what you want to do. That's like the main thing you want to like think about when you're playing this. First off, is do you want to like just play this casually and like chill stuff, explore, or maybe you want to like speed run stuff and like get the most like extensively crazy like money making wrench of all time, or maybe you just want to build stuff. There's a lot you can do in Slime Rancher 2 here. So depending on what you want to do, that will affect if you want to change any of this stuff, really. So at least for me, I like to play more casually, so I tend to always turn off tar and to keep the fails because I mean they're not really effective to anything. Towers actually do make the game much more, I guess, annoying in a sense. Ferals are not as annoying, really. And I suppose, yeah, if you do player damage, it could be worse off, but. And those are the settings for now. Let's get into it. And here's the best part. The pink slime just waiting for you right there. They really knocked out of the park with the starting of the game. Just perfect. Just being stared down by a pink. And here, let's actually get into it. So, as you can see, you start off with, little tutorials telling you what to do first. Of course, you want to, like, do them all, as it's seen in the top right. So, let's actually do some of these real quick. Slimepedia. Anything else? Okay. So, it starts you off with a corral right here. And I'd say, like, don't worry about it too much. First thing you probably want to do is, like, immediately just go out, explore. Mostly if you're a new player, just go explore and just, do whatever. Like, wherever you find food, take it. Go and feed some of the slimes you see. I'd, of course, recommend checking some of the other slimes over here, maybe the bunnies. Get their plorts bit by bit, because most people would like start off immediately and like take whatever slimes they got here, and, like then just fill up their corrals that they got with like slimes, but then you don't got the food to feed them, really, do you? So that's where you want to mainly use the land that's already here instead of focusing too much on the conservatory. Very tedious, but that's the thing. Like, well, like I say, if you're mostly playing this casually, then yeah, I hope you're not too much in a hurry, because this game isn't really, I don't think, meant to be played in an extremely fast-paced fashion. I wouldn't think. Maybe we'll speed up a little bit here. And now that we're back, and we actually got some plorts with us and a little bit of food, and our slimes are still kind of hanging out around here somewhere. There was another pink one over here. I hear it. Oh, there they are. And here we are with, let's dump them in the market. Get some monies. And as you can see, everything has their own values. Of course, we should probably go get some more bunnies real quick before the market changes in the day. Every day it changes, as you can see in the clock in the bottom right. When that hits, I believe, like 23. So let's go back and get some more bunnies. Now, we can actually start building some of the ranch now. Which I, of course, recommend. First things first, you definitely want to get a garden. You need foods. And getting the upgrades is great too. Almost had a perfect amount. Now here we are with the garden again, and I'd recommend starting off with vegetables, because the bunnies are, worth a little bit more right now. So then we can actually go grab one and actually keep it over here for the time being. And another thing, if you, want to make your ranch really, really awesome, is you can actually maybe, keep the slimes here that actually were your, I guess, day ones, the day one slimes. Is it just 3? I think so. There they are, the OGs. I think we'll try to keep them here. Maybe we'll make this into a nice little series, hopefully. And maybe we'll think of some names for them. For now, let's get that upgrade, so we can start getting this food going much more conveniently. And hopefully we'll actually maybe make a little hard cut to me having some bunnies in here and food grown and those pinks in another corral. Well, they're sleeping. So, now that we have our bunnies here and their food very conveniently beside them, now that's kind of like a thing you can do if you're, more, I guess, on top of it, or not really on top of it, I guess, sometimes. If you explore a lot, you could, keep the corral, one high. You can upgrade it and make, like, the higher walls, but that, if you're not, like, on top of feeding them, then they'll get hungry, and, early on, it's kind of annoying. So at least, worst case, they'll break out, and they'll feed themselves, and they'll just kind of hang out here, So it's not the worst thing, you'll still be making your monies early on, because you don't have the budget yet to get these yet. The auto feeder, which is your main thing you want to work towards immediately. So you can just fill it up with food, and just collect the monies. But, like, as you can see, it costs a little bit, another 1,000. So that's the first thing we're going to want to get. Always make sure to feed your bunnies. And And that's a nice little way to, I guess, cheese it so you don't have to pop this Gordo right here. And that's where we get into Gordos. So a lot of these Gordos, they of course unlock you parts of the map and area, but a lot of them you don't even have to pop, you know, you can leave them be. Because this one would have made like a waterfall shootout and you'd get up there, but you can just, you know, use your resources that are available. And here's the part where you want to, I guess, start just going out and exploring and just keep on getting whatever stuff you get. Like, I'm sure I'll hardcut do it right here. See, also this, you just go out and there's tons of plorts just sitting around. But I knew there'd be one here as always. These things you want to look out for too, because they can give you some. It's almost like a little mini loot crate. You know, you grab it and then smash on the ground or any sort of wall, and it gives you some money, which is nice, you know. So you can just go around looking for those, and they respawn kind of decently. You can make a little bit of monies that way too while you're out and about. And it's always good to keep a little bit of food on you just in case if a certain very gold one shows up. Huh. And that's also a thing that can happen, which you can have a gold one show up out of nowhere. That was pretty rare. And normally you can sell it on the marketplace, sell the plorts, but I highly recommend saving them in the refinery. And here we are with another very important thing about the game, is the treasure pods. As you can see, here's one, which I recommend highly that you should undoubtedly look up a guide and just like try to get as many as you can, because a lot of them are very easy to get early on, but you'll definitely want to get the jetpack. That's when you want to then actually full on like go exploring this entire like main, you know, starting area for all treasure pods you can, because a lot of your upgrades come from them. Speaking of the jetpack, you're going to need to get the resource harvester, which is down here. And here's a fabricator and your refinery where you dump in your resources, whatever it is. Most likely it's going to be cotton plorts because I remember, yep, you need 10 cotton plorts and 450 monies to get the resource harvester. Now, we mainly need phosphor plorts and they come out at night, which is exactly 1 minute from now. But you can use your house here to skip time, which I only recommend doing it when you specifically need something, like resource-wise, because it's, you know, it's kind of just pointless. You might miss stuff or, you know, other things might come up, like weathers, you know. But that's also like another thing you gotta like skip time for, so. But then I'd recommend just wait it out for whatever you might need. Now, any second, the phosphorus should come out. Now, there's the thing that you of course want to keep in mind is certain slimes have a favorite food, which for phosphors, it is the Q-berry, which I think it's like the main only tree of it that's in this area. I should have fed it that. Whoops. So let's go find some other ones real quick. And you get double the blood from them. That's another thing. Depending on which version of Slime Rancher 2 you get, from what console or Steam or Epic Games, you get a very special toy down here. I think this is honestly the best one, or maybe Steam's the Fox. At least that's my personal ones I think I like. Leave in the comments which is your favorite Slime Rancher 2 exclusive toy. But now, let's go ahead and drop in all this stuff for upgrades. Which, we need 6 cotton plorts and 8 blue phosphor plorts. So, I did math right? I did not. Alright. Now we got the resource harvester. So, normally to get the jetpack, you need to get a certain other material which is not in the starting area, and you'd have to go from either one of 2 ways to get to there to get these, which are radiant ores. And normally, you'd either have to pop the cotton gordo and go down here underneath in the cave, which will eventually lead you to that switch over there, which will open up that portal so you can get over to that next area. Or you have to pop this gordo right here and get the water to shoot you up there so that you can, where is it? Hit the switch that is right up there, which we already did without needing to pop the gordo with a little bit of clever parkour. So we can go into the next area. Ember Valley. And in this place, just as like the jellystone is, it's a fairly common material. The radiant ore, I'm sure we'll find one very easily. Very easily. We'll cut this out until we find one. I always farm this normally, so I know where all the locations are. There's one. So, now we need 10 of these, which every resource node gives you about 2 to 3, which is kind of annoying. But, is what it is. See? Just need 8 more. Well. I recommend going to this little area, which is very good for radiant ore. Oh yeah, we can deposit in here even. Deposit a lot of materials. So now that we have space, we can, on the way back, grab stuff. And that we've gone to a new area, the marketplace is a little bit better. A little bit more showing up other slimes, which you'll eventually get. But now, most important thing, we can now buy the jetpack, which opens up every possibility, like exploring to the other area, and then that's pretty much all you need to know. For now, at least. As well as these upgrades, which I highly recommend these 2 upgrades more than anything. You want to for sure save the monies for this one. Get the Silky Sand, which is in that other area, which we unlocked, Ember Valley. And this one, easy. Let's go get some tabbies real quick. Then next you want to go towards these 2. And those are the main upgrades you'll want to get when you're starting off the game. Now, I didn't actually plan to talk about the Pronto Mart, but I suppose we can go into it briefly, since it kind of is forcing us to. Now, this is where you can buy like a bunch of like, you know, furnishings and whatnot to build with, which, you know, It's nice. Very cheap to like, you know, you want to just quickly, you know, build up some decent, I guess, architecture around your house or whatnot. And this one is the main important one where you get like the good deals. Like for example, this slot will always have a slime toy every day, and it's a trash can. We don't know who it's a favorite of, even though it literally says reduces agitation of nearby slimes, especially ringtail slimes who love to eat trash and do crimes, because they're criminals. Now that we have the jetpack, we don't even have to really feed the cotton Gordo and the other pink Gordo to unlock the areas, which you can just kind of just fly around in. There you go. And there it is. Now you've got all the portals unlocked. Well, the main two at least. That's a very good start for the game. As you can see, we were not supposed to get in this way. We weren't supposed to see this. Usually you never get to see underneath the Gordo, which... that's pretty rare, I guess. Like for Gordo butt. Now it's going to be the problem of getting out of here, which I didn't really plan that far. It shouldn't be too hard, I think. I think we can make it over there. Yep, here we go. You go up here, very easy. Get your energy back, and back we go. And that's essentially pretty much everything you need to know about starting off Slime Rancher 2. To give you a decent starting point, like I recommend going through pretty much everything I've done here. And of course, you can make some shortcuts. You can probably do things a little bit better than I did, and maybe your RNG will be a little bit better and a bit faster because I did it kind of slowly. So hopefully this helps you out a little bit and to make a decent ranch. And let me know if we should actually continue on this save file with these slimes and our OGs right here. I almost forgot to mention another very important thing is right here. These three things. I'd recommend check out, you know, Slime Rancher website, you know, for all their cool stuff, whatnot, you know. And the updates, which is nice to know about. Might learn some things you might not know for sure. Off bat at least. And I also like to peruse the Slime Rancher 2 subreddit quite sometimes, you know. You never know what people are posting. It's always nice seeing it. Oh boy. Oh boy. And it'd be nice if you could also, you know, post on the Slime Rancher subreddits, your stuff too. You can share how your progress is going. Everyone's always, you know, very nice on here, very like supportive towards like whatever, you know, is on here. And I tend to post on here quite often too. I'm sure I've got something, but their most important thing, which is their Twitters, their other social medias, their X, what do you want to call it? It's always nice seeing that how they actually, you know, I believe it's actually the official Slime Rancher account, and whoever's running it, like I said in the other video, which they're doing a phenomenal job. They're always like posting stuff about like what other people have posted, or like you see like their fan art and like stuff about it. Like they're always very good about it. Like, let's see, like day after day after day after day after day. Very amazing stuff here. And glad you picked up Slime Rancher 2, which it's a phenomenal game, great series. And if you haven't played Slime Rancher 1, I'd still recommend doing Slime Rancher 2 first because it's easier, you know. But if you really want to go OG, get Slime Rancher 1 and, you know, enjoy that for what it's worth. And maybe I'll make a little guide for that too in the future, who knows? And more content for that. Let me know what you think. But for now, I think that's everything. I don't think I missed anything else really, and we'll hopefully see you in the next one.